Hey guys, this is Sudoku Warrior. We're back with some more Simple Souls. Alright, so the first three of these videos were recorded in one big chunk, so I kind of take off here without really giving myself time to say what's going on. But what we're going to do today is go grab the gear that you're going to be using for most of the rest of the game, at least one of the pieces. The first thing you're going to want to do is get below 25% of your equipment load. That lets you run the fastest, and also gives you more maneuverability and stuff. And also, taking off your armor will help you get the items that we're going to go get because it's a suicide run. This guy that sits next to the bonfire is called the Crestfallen Warrior, and he's basically depressed about the state of the world, but he is willing to tell you that there are indeed two bells, just like Oscar said, and when you ring them both, something happens. Just like he says right there. Well, when you finish talking to him, there will be some stairs to your left to head down, and we'll be heading there in just a second. You can kill him here, but it'll take a while because he's really good at parrying, so your main form of doing damage will have to be like backstabs, or if you can parry him. Up here, there's a chick that is the firekeeper of the shrine. She is mute, and or at least she doesn't talk because she something happened in her past. She was judged as impure and basically got kicked out of society and went to live an ascetic life on her own. So when you follow that little route down, take this elevator. You'll pop out with a nice view of a sunken city and head down this first set of stairs. But if you take a loop around it, there's a soul here. It's worth 800 souls, I believe. And if you consume it and then head to your right, this is one of the reasons we got the master key at the beginning. It lets you open that door without actually going through a swamp and a gigantic sewer, one of which is run by a giant dragon. And it lets you take a shortcut to this place, the Valley of the Drakes. In here, you see a giant hunk of rotting flesh sort of sitting on the wall. Well, it's a good idea to avoid getting anywhere near it for now. Just kind of hug the wall, grab the soul of the proud knight right there, and then go get the two items that it is clutching. The Astora's Straight Sword, which I talked about last video, and the Dragon Crest Shield. Odds are it will kill you with those massively overpowered hand sweeps. It's a mini-boss. It's not something you're really meant to fight right now, but since we went at it with 10 souls, losing them is basically meaningless. Alright, so the Dragon Crest Shield is a really, really nice shield. Shields are probably in my opinion, going to be a massive crutch for the entire game. If you can't dodge an attack, it is almost always possible to block it. And the Dragon Crest shield is an exceptionally good shield. Alright, well, what you're gonna want to do right now is use all of those souls that you found, and they're going to be worth quite a bit of levels. Right now, we're going to be pumping them all into endurance so we can swing our swords more and wear heavier armor. Then it's this is me basically trying to figure out what all I can carry and still stay under half equip load. But if you do look at those two weapons in the menus, you can see that the Astora's Straight Sword, while it might not do as much physical damage, at least right now, it does magic damage as well, which, since most sets of armor and even shields have low magic resistance, it'll let you basically cut like like the enemy isn't even holding up a shield. You can see the damage that it's doing, 138, enough to one-shot these guys. So when that guy jumps down, an easy mistake to make if this is your first time in this area is to walk forward and try to engage him. Well, there's a guy throwing fire bombs at you, and those can be a little bit nasty. We did get the Dragon Crest shield, though, and it has exceptional fire resistance. It'll block 85% of fire damage. Pretty useful. Once you've wiped out everyone up there, so that way you don't have a bunch of people chasing you, you can just come and go kill that little knight guy and pick up that soul. Alright, now we're going to head into the Undead Burg. This is the first area of the game, and it's really not too terribly challenging. There's a couple of small souls that you can pick up, and there's a rat to kill in here. This guy, if you just never get within close range of that rat, most of the time you'll kill him before he can turn around, but he can, rats do poison damage, and you can get poisoned by getting hit too much, and that, especially as a low-level character with not very many Estus flasks, you can just get your HP drained without being able to do anything about it. These guys, again, you can just one-shot them with your little R1 weak attack and smack people around. So yeah. One note about Dark Souls. The menus are pretty dang confusing. When you press start to pull up the menus, you have a handful of options you can do. Most menus will be navigated by advancing the screens with the X button if you're on Xbox, and I'm pretty sure it's square if you're on PS3, and that'll change what information you have about the item. This fight can be a little bit difficult if you don't remember to keep your shield between you and the archer. There's actually a guy with a crossbow sitting up in that little tower, and he likes to take pot shots at you. Anyways, once you've dispatched him, there's a bonfire immediately behind you, so it's a pretty useful checkpoint. It'll be the one that we're using for a while here. Pop all of those souls that you found, and you should have enough levels to get your endurance up pretty high, and you might even want to start preparing for when you eventually are going to get the Claymore, which will be our weapon of choice for this playthrough. As it is right now, you'll have almost enough to level up twice, so you can go clean up some of these scrubs and get a couple more souls. Whenever you're fighting over here and you stab that guy in the tower, watch out for the little dude that's down there, because he likes to get aggroed by the sound, run up, chase you, and then when you're in the middle of fighting other people, stab you in the back. Alright, well that just about does it for this video. See you guys next time. Peace.